Welcome back to the channel, English learners. I'm your host, Natasha, and today's episode is one that can truly change the way you speak English forever. The topic? Speak like a thinker, not a translator. If you're someone who still translates every word from your native language before speaking English, this video is for you. It's time to break free from that habit and learn how to think in English, just like a fluent speaker. Have you ever had a conversation in English where you knew exactly what you wanted to say in your native language, but your brain froze, and you just couldn't find the English words fast enough? That's not a vocabulary problem. That's a thinking problem. You're not speaking English, you're translating it, and that's the trap. Most English learners spend years studying hard, memorizing long vocabulary lists, learning grammar rules, watching YouTube lessons, reading textbooks. It feels productive, but the moment you try to speak, boom, brain freeze. You're mentally flipping through a dictionary in your head, trying to construct the perfect sentence. And by the time you think of what to say, the conversation has already moved on. Sound familiar? It's like trying to dance while reading the steps from a manual. You're always 2 beats behind. It's frustrating, embarrassing, and worse, it makes you feel like you'll never be fluent. But you're not the problem. The method is. This habit of mentally translating everything from your native language into English creates a huge delay. It makes you speak slower, sound unnatural, and doubt yourself constantly. You overthink everything. You hesitate. You lose confidence. And here's the truth: no one tells you. Fluency is not about how many words you know or how perfect your grammar is. Fluency is how fast your brain can think in English without translation. Think about it. Babies don't translate. They listen, repeat, mimic, react. They don't study verb tenses. They live the language. If you want to speak fluently, confidently, and naturally, you have to stop being a word converter and start becoming a language thinker. That's what this video is all about. Why translation kills your fluency. How to rewire your brain to think in English. Simple habits you can start today that actually work. So here's the big question. Are you speaking English or just translating it? The difference between the two is the difference between frustration and fluency. Let's get started. Section 2. Why translating slows you down. So why exactly does translating in your head slow you down? Let's break it down. When you translate, your brain is doing 3 things at once. First, it understands the idea in your native language. Second, it searches for the English equivalent. Third, it tries to apply grammar rules and structure. All of that takes mental energy and milliseconds that add up to seconds. Those seconds cause awkward pauses, broken sentences, and moments where you feel completely stuck. It's like trying to run while holding a backpack full of bricks. Everything is slower and more difficult than it needs to be. Your brain becomes a slow computer with too many tabs open. And that's not how fluent conversation works. Fluent speakers don't translate. They think in the language itself. It's direct, it's fast, and most importantly, it feels natural. Here's an example. Imagine someone casually asks, "What do you do for fun?" A fluent thinker might respond instantly, "I love reading. I usually read before bed." But a translator? They go through this process. Think in their native language. "I like to read books, especially at night." Translate. "I like to read books, night." Reconstruct. "I like reading books at the night." Now compare the two. One response is fluid, the other feels clunky. And even though the translator has the knowledge, their brain is bottlenecked by translation. And this doesn't just slow you down, it affects how you speak. Because when you translate directly, your sentences carry the structure and style of your native language. That can lead to awkward phrasing, miscommunication, or even sounding a bit robotic. It's like trying to play jazz with classical sheet music. Technically correct, but totally off in tone. English has its own rhythm, tone, and natural expressions. It's full of idioms, chunks, and phrases that don't follow literal translation. For example, take a break doesn't make much sense if you translate it word for word, but as a phrase, it's instantly clear. So when you rely on translation, you're not just slowing yourself down, you're disconnecting from how the language actually works. Now, let's talk about the mental side. Translating creates anxiety. You're constantly second-guessing yourself. Is this the right word? Is this sentence okay? Do I sound weird? You hesitate. You lose confidence. You stay quiet when you should speak up. And over time, this leads to something worse. Avoidance. Avoiding. Conversations. Avoiding speaking practice. Avoiding progress. But here's the good news. This is not a life sentence. The human brain is powerful. It adapts. With the right methods, you can literally retrain how you think, so English becomes your default, not your translation target. It starts by learning to think in chunks, not individual words. Native speakers don't build every sentence from scratch. They use pre-built phrases like, I'm not sure, it depends, to be honest, or can I get a... These are automatic, fast, and instantly understood. The more you use them, the less your brain has to build every sentence. Think of it like learning a song on guitar. You don't memorize each individual note. You learn patterns. That's what fluency is. Pattern recognition in real time. In the next section, we'll break down exactly how to create those patterns in your brain and why thinking like a child might just be your greatest language learning superpower. Section 3. Think like a child, not a scholar. When we think of language learning, most of us imagine hard work, studying grammar, taking notes, memorizing vocabulary lists. But you know who learns languages the fastest? Children. And they don't study at all. They don't worry about verb tenses, grammar charts, or pronunciation drills. They don't say, should I use the present perfect here? They just listen, copy, and speak. Why? Because children learn language the natural way. They learn through experience, repetition, and context. They're not trying to be perfect. They're trying to be understood. And ironically, that mindset leads to fluency way faster than the perfection mindset most adults have. Now, I'm not saying you should act like a child, but you should learn like one. Here's how. Focus on meaning, not rules. When children hear the word apple, they don't imagine the spelling. They picture the red fruit. The meaning is connected directly to the word, no translation. You can do the same. Instead of translating every new word, connect it to a real image, feeling, or moment. If you learn the word tired, think about the last time you were exhausted. If you learn delicious, think about your favorite food. Words are not math problems. They're emotional, sensory, and vivid. When you learn like this, your brain retains faster and longer. Repeat to remember, children. Hear the same phrases thousands of times. What's that? I want it. Look at this. And because they hear them in different situations, the phrases become automatic. Repetition isn't boring. It's essential. Watch shows with simple dialogue. Use subtitles. Rewatch. Repeat phrases out loud. The more your brain hears and says the same things, the more fluency becomes second nature. Imitate. Don't translate. Babies copy what they hear. That's why a 1-year-old can perfectly mimic their parents' accent. Even though they don't understand grammar yet, you can do the same. Find native speakers you admire. Copy their rhythm, tone, intonation. Repeat short sentences exactly how they say them. Record yourself. Compare. Adjust. This isn't fake it till you make it. This is how your brain absorbs pronunciation and fluency without even trying. Play with language, kids. Don't fear mistakes. They mess up all the time. And laugh about it. But every mistake teaches them something. You have permission to play. Make weird sentences. Talk to yourself in English while you're doing the dishes. Narrate your life. Now I'm cutting onions. Ugh, they're making me cry. Yes, it's silly, but it works. When you stop taking English so seriously, you start learning it naturally. Create a language environment. Children learn language because it's everywhere. Music, conversation, games, family, school. It surrounds them. You can't move to an English-speaking country? No problem. Bring English to you. Change your phone settings. Think in English. Watch content in English every day. Surround your brain until English becomes your default environment. Adults have one big advantage over children. We can learn intentionally. But we often waste that advantage by overthinking, overanalyzing, and chasing perfection. So here's the truth. If you want to speak like a native, stop learning like a scholar, and start learning like a child. Section 4. Step by Step to Thinking in English. So how do you actually start thinking in English? This is the core of fluency. Once your brain stops translating and starts generating thoughts directly in English, you stop hesitating. You stop overthinking. You start speaking. Here's a step-by-step plan you can use daily. It doesn't require a teacher, expensive courses, or moving abroad. All it takes is consistency and the right strategy. Let's break it down into 6 steps. Step 1. Label your world. Start by surrounding yourself with English, literally. Look around you right now. What do you see? A desk? A notebook? A glass of water? Start labeling these objects in English. Say them out loud. Write them on sticky notes if you need to. This step trains your brain to recognize everyday things in English instead of translating them from your native language. The more often you name what's around you, the more automatic it becomes. Example. This is my phone. I'm charging it. The battery is low. Step 2. Narrate simple actions. Now take it a step further. Narrate what you're doing in real time, like a live commentator. If you're brushing your teeth, say, I'm brushing my teeth. Now I'm rinsing. I'm looking in the mirror. It feels awkward at first, but that's a good sign. It means your brain is working. You're creating new pathways. This builds fluency from the inside out. You're not just learning words, you're using them in real life. Step 3. Internal monologue practice. This is where real transformation begins. Start thinking in English, on purpose, for 5 to 10 minutes a day. You don't need to speak out loud. Just think. What are you feeling? What are you going to do today? What did you eat for breakfast? Example thoughts. I have a meeting in 2 hours. I need to reply to that email. I'm a little tired, but I'm excited about dinner. At first, you'll get stuck. You'll want to switch to your native language. That's okay. When that happens, slow down. Replace what you can. If you don't know a word, describe it in English. Instead of translating headphones from your language, say, the thing I use to listen to music. This method builds flexibility. And that's what fluency really is. The ability to express ideas even when you forget a word. Step 4. Use thinking prompts. Sometimes it's hard to know what to think about, so give your brain a prompt, like a journaling question. Try these. What did I do yesterday? What would I do with $1 million? What do I want to eat tonight? What's something I'm proud of? Answer in your head or say it out loud. Don't worry about grammar. Just go with the flow. Over time, these prompts build the mental reflex of forming sentences in English automatically. Step 5. Shadow native speakers. This is one of the most powerful tools you can use. Find a short video clip of a native English speaker, like from YouTube, a TED Talk, or a podcast. Play it. Then repeat immediately after them. Match their tone, speed, and rhythm. This technique is called shadowing, and it's a game changer. It teaches you to think in real time, just like a native speaker. You'll start to feel the flow of the language, the pauses, the emotion, the music of English. Just 5 minutes of shadowing a day can massively improve your speaking and thinking speed. Step 6. Use English to talk to yourself. Daily. This is the secret weapon of fluent speakers. Every day, take 5 to 10 minutes to talk to yourself in English. Recap your day. Say what you're thinking. Express your feelings. Plan tomorrow. Make it a routine. While walking, cooking, showering, any moment where your mind is free. You don't need a conversation partner. You are the conversation. This not only helps you think in English, it helps you become comfortable with your own voice. You start to trust your fluency. You stop waiting for permission to speak. You just speak. Now let's tie it all together with a few mindset reminders. Don't panic when you don't know a word. Describe it. Work around it. Don't aim for perfect grammar. Aim for communication. Don't wait until you feel fluent. Start using your English now, and fluency will catch up. You don't have to be fluent to start thinking in English. But once you start thinking in English, fluency becomes inevitable. It's not a talent. It's a daily decision. Even 10 minutes a day is enough to create real change, if you do it consistently. And the best part, once you train your brain to think in English, everything else, listening, speaking, even writing, gets easier. Because English stops being a foreign language. It becomes your second nature. Section 5. The fear of mistakes. Break the perfection barrier. You've probably said this before. I'm afraid to speak because I might make a mistake. Guess what? Everyone feels that way. But if you want to be fluent, you have to flip that mindset completely. Because the fear of making mistakes is the real thing blocking your progress, not your grammar, not your accent. Let's get real. Mistakes are not a sign of failure. They're a sign of effort. Think of any skill you've learned. Riding a bike, driving, cooking. You didn't start out perfect. You messed up, you fell, you burned the toast, but you didn't stop trying. Why? Because you knew that mistakes were part of learning. Language is no different. In fact, mistakes are necessary. They're proof that your brain is working, that you're pushing your limits. If you're never making mistakes, you're probably not speaking enough. So let's talk about how to break through this perfection barrier. Redefine what a mistake. A mistake isn't a failure, it's feedback. It shows you what to work on. When a native speaker misunderstands you, it's not embarrassing, it's information. Oh, that phrase didn't land. Cool. Now I know to say it differently. This shift in mindset is powerful. It makes mistakes feel like opportunities, not problems. Stop overcorrecting yourself. When you speak English, do you ever stop mid-sentence and go, "Wait, was that right?" That habit kills your confidence. Fluent speakers make mistakes all the time. They pause, restart, change, words halfway. That's normal human speech. You don't need to sound perfect. You just need to be understood. If your message gets across, you're doing great. Remember that people don't care. Here's the truth. Native speakers don't expect you to speak perfectly. They admire your effort. They're focused on what you're saying, not whether your grammar is textbook perfect. Think about it. If someone spoke your native language imperfectly but was clearly trying, would you mock them? No, you'd respect them. You don't have to earn permission to speak English. You already have it. Practice fearless speaking. Moments. Start small. Choose a moment every day where you speak English out loud with zero fear of mistakes. Maybe it's ordering coffee. Maybe it's commenting on a video. Maybe it's recording a voice memo. Set a timer for 1 minute. For that minute, you are not allowed to care about being right. Just speak. Let the words come out. This rewires your brain to associate speaking English with action, not anxiety. Track your progress, not perfection. Instead of asking, "Did I speak perfectly today?" Ask, "Did I try? Did I communicate? Did I express something in English I couldn't before?" Celebrate the effort. Celebrate the small wins. Maybe today you said a full sentence without stopping. Maybe you remembered a word you usually forget. That's progress. You don't need a certificate to prove you're improving. You just need to keep going. Here's the truth most learners don't hear. Fluency is not the result of being perfect. It's the result of being brave. Again and again. You will make mistakes. You will feel awkward. You will stumble over your words. And that's exactly how you become fluent. Confidence doesn't come before speaking, it comes from speaking. Section 6. The repetition loop. Your daily fluency ritual. Let's make this practical. Fluency isn't magic. It's the result of repetition. Daily repetition. But here's the twist. You don't need hours a day. Just a smart, repeatable system you can stick to. Welcome to the repetition loop, your 10-minute daily ritual to start thinking in English automatically. You can do this anywhere. It's short, it's focused, and it works. Step 1. Repeat a native sentence, 2 minutes. Find a sentence spoken by a native speaker. YouTube clips, podcasts, movies, anything natural. Repeat that sentence out loud, 5 times. Focus on mimicking tone, rhythm, and flow, not just the words. This trains your brain to internalize the sound and structure of real English. Step 2. Use the sentence in your own way, 2 minutes. Now take that sentence and create your own version. Example. Original. I'm not sure yet. I'll let you know later. Your version. I'm not ready yet. I'll tell you tomorrow. This reinforces flexibility. You're not just copying, you're thinking in English with the same structure. Step 3. Narrate a task in real time. 3 minutes. Choose one simple task: cooking, walking, making coffee. Narrate it while you do it. Example: I'm opening the fridge. I need milk. Where's the spoon? This wires English into your actions. The brain loves this connection. Language and movement together make learning stick. Step 4. Reflect in English. 3 minutes. End with reflection. Ask yourself, what did I do today? What could I do better tomorrow? What's something good that happened? Answer out loud or in your head. Doesn't matter. What matters is you're using English. If you do this every day, even for 10 minutes, your fluency will grow. Without textbooks, without stress. Repetition creates rhythm. Rhythm creates flow. Flow creates fluency. Section 7. Become a language thinker. So, let's step back. If you've watched this far, it means one thing. You're done being stuck in the translator's trap. You're ready to think in English and speak like it's yours. Let's recap what you've learned. You now know that translating slows you down. It makes you overthink, second-guess, and hesitate. It disconnects you from natural speech and real connection. You've learned that fluency doesn't come from grammar drills. It comes from rewiring your brain to think in English, like a child. Not a scholar. You've seen the tools. Narrating your life. Internal monologues. Speaking without fear. Using repetition. Building habits with your environment. Trusting your brain, even when it stumbles. But here's the most important thing. Fluency is not a final destination. It's a daily practice, a mindset, a belief that your voice matters, even if it's not perfect. You don't need to be fluent to think in English. You think in English to become fluent. So, what happens next? Start small. Pick one idea from this video and do it today. Speak to yourself. Watch one video and shadow it. Reflect in English before bed. Don't wait for motivation. Build momentum. Don't wait to be perfect. Start with messy. Every single fluent speaker you admire was once a hesitant beginner. The only difference? They didn't stop. Neither should you. If you got value from this video, hit the like button. It helps more learners like you find this message. And if you're serious about training your brain to speak English fluently, subscribe for more weekly tools, tips, and real mindset shifts. You're not just learning English, you're becoming a language thinker. See you in the next video.